Hello. All right, talking templates today. Talking templates for 10 minutes. Okay, so HTML. I've been messing around with HTML, um, partly inspired by this, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm on the HTML train, but HTML is kind of has some rough edges. So this is an early trying to motivate what I'm doing. This is an early. What's the date on this? This was a month ago. This was me trying to use HTML, and it's a big old messy wall of text. Um, and so what you can see here is that I did some work. I created a provenance widget, and then this HTML is like a summary of that work. And so the idea that I think trying to go for, and I still kind of try to use, is that HTML can be a you don't want to, if you're in a chat with the LLM, you don't want to wait. It's not worth waiting for the LLM to make HTML for you. But if you're done with the chat and you want to save an artifact of it for next time, HTML can be nice. Why not use your visual cortex? Why not spend some extra LLM tokens to get an artifact that's going to get you on the same page as the LLM a little bit faster. But as you can see, this isn't helpful. This is a lot. There's a lot going on. So templates. I have a lot of templates, and the templates start with just a generic thing and then get built out. So let me show you. Yeah. Let me show you an example. Okay, okay, cool. So I have what I'm calling doctrine nodes, and you can see them. This one's the public site. You can check this out. Doctrine nodes are a paste layer that is more changeable than the harness. So another influential thing in the library here, we can actually find it. Thin harness, fat skills. I think that this makes a lot of sense. There's a natural impulse when you're building a harness system that something goes wrong and you're like, okay, well, I need to add something to my agents or Claude.md. But then the problem there is you end up with this massive file that is getting called every time, and it's very confusing. So, you want to try to migrate things to skills, and then even beyond that, I am now migrating things to a paste layer that I call the doctrine nodes. And what the doctrine nodes allows me to do is anytime something goes wrong, I can make a complaint. And the complaints are sometimes just very messy, just like something went wrong, right? And so, yeah, don't ask me to do manual actions. And so this is me capturing little things that go wrong without me trying to fix it in the moment. Don't just, I think I actually made this a principle. This was this has been on my mind. Don't just do something, stand there. Sometimes you just had to not try to fix things immediately. So when I think of something that feels of the something that is speaking to the way I want things to work, I make it a little principle. When I have something that I wish could happen, but I don't want to implement it immediately, I make it a wish. When I think of a metaphor, I make it a metaphor. When I have something that I like that I want to keep, I put it in the library. And then that this isn't getting read into context, but it's just there. It's recorded. So anyways, to motivate templates, let me show you how I tried to do a sweep of the doctrine. I tried to have the LLM look over it all. And so I said, do a doctrine sweep. And what did it do? It didn't, it used to just generate HTML. Now it copies the template and it starts from the template. And then it did the first pass of a doctrine sweep, and it looked over everything, and and well, actually, it sort of planned the sweep, so it didn't even do it. But then I probably said, no, actually do the sweep. So then it did the sweep, right? And it, you know, it gave me a whole big wall of text. And I thought to myself, okay, this is helpful, but now I have to go back and forth. So let me just, I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to skip to what it actually did. Yeah. So now going back to templates. Sorry, this is a little bit all over the place. Um, Let me just show you some more templates. So the idea is we have all this messy incoming stream flowing into the system, and the templates are almost like binning. Like it's like, does it look like a quote from me? Okay, put it in that quote input component. Are you quoting a source, which is very recommended? All right, don't don't guess on how I want my links formatted. Use that. And if you're going to use, and it's like you can kind of show rather than tell. Instead of all caps telling your system, make sure to quote everything, you just make a template, quote source. And then the skill can say, use the quote source component. And then voila, it is reminded to make the quote. And so yeah, so we're I'm building up this library of things that I like that the agent can use to compose with, and the result is we start to get. So now instead of doctrine nodes, so then what this all ended up with is doctrine nodes can be swept over, and instead of like creating an artifact in the chat or creating another HTML artifact, now when it sweeps doctrine nodes, what it can do is it can create this component here, which can actually move around kind of dangerously. Oh gosh. This can move around dangerously, and the recommendation lives on the thing itself. And now I can come along and I can read it like, okay, we're keeping that one? Cool. So I've read it now, and I can get rid of it if I'm done with it. I can come along and I can just live in place edit this HTML, right? And that's a lot easier than getting a report on the HTML and then reading the report and then trying to go back and forth. So I think I made a principle here. There's a principle of like skip the round trip. So the best place for a note is exactly where you think of it. And so I'm trying to embody that in my HTML. You can't do this if you go to my streetlight. You can't do this. But what I can do is let me find it. This one's kind of a funky one. I was wondering about how slide rules work, so I had it try to make me a slide rule. So you just see this, but when I see it, when I am in my local viewer, I guess that's in the archive. It's not very important, the slide rule. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, this is too old. Yeah, this one was made before I started. So so this is a little anticlimactic. In the templates, in the components, every component has these affordances. And what that means is that I can jump in anywhere, and I can open up a session with my system, and I can say, what's going on here, right? And rather than, so the round trip would be me, I'm in the system, I find something that I have a question about, and now I have to go like it's my job to bring the context to the system. This is a way for me to kind of automate a little bit of that. And so that's been my experimentation with templates, and it's been 10 minutes. So and I don't know that it's public right now. The templates. I should make it public. It's kind of interesting. One more thing I'm going to show you. This is going to be an 11-minute one. HTML, it really gets addicting once you realize how clever and versatile HTML is. So it allows you to do things like I can now just sort of arbitrarily add, well, let's put it at the bottom here. I can arbitrarily add hello world from the 6:16 11-minute Talkin Templates demo. I guess I'm calling these demos. So I can just sort of arbitrarily add notes anywhere on the HTML.